One evening, a man wearing a black felt hat and carrying a large black trunk and a sturdy black umbrella arrived at a small station in the middle of a vast desert. The station was nothing more than a lonely shack where the station master lived, standing sadly next to the rails with two dimly gleaming gray tracks. "Boy, what a terrible place this is," the man sighed as he set the trunk down on the sand and looked around. After the train disappeared into the dusky evening, leaving only the station master, an elderly man, peeking out from the shack, the man approached him and handed over his ticket. "Where is the city, by the way?" the man asked the station master. "The city?" The station master pointed his trembling finger towards the distant horizon. "It's over there." However, no matter how hard the man squinted his eyes, he couldn't see only trace or shape of a city. "But I can't see anything," he said. "Well, the city is there. Everyone says so," replied the station master. "I see." Disappointed, the man looked towards the invisible horizon. "It must be quite far away, huh?" "It seems to be far. But there's no other choice. The city is only there," the station master explained. "Of course, I understand." The man became a little annoyed, lifted the heavy trunk, and started walking slowly. "Anyway, I need to reach that city tonight, do my business there tomorrow, and move on to the next city the day after. But I am getting older. I don't have the same strength as when I was young. Let the younger ones handle the sauce, and let me sell the spices," the man would reply. "No, selling sauce instead of spice is better for you." "Why?" "Because when you talk about Black Bull brand sauce, you really make it sound delicious," the supervisor would insist. The desert had grown completely dark, and only a few stars were visible near the horizon. When he turned around, he couldn't see the station or the station master anymore. The man slowly placed the heavy trunk on the sand and sat down on it. The town still seemed far away. He took a small paper-wrapped bundle out of his pocket and unwrapped it to reveal a half-eaten sugar cube. He put the remaining half back in his pocket. Saving a sugar cube from 3 o'clock tea time was his only pleasure when he was tired. He savored the sweetness of the sugar slowly spreading on his tongue. And the man felt a little relived. Just then, a voice from the distant sky came down, the voice of God. "Every person must build a house, plant a tree, and have a child." God's voice spread across the vast sky and then touched the man's heart, quietly moving him. "Oh yes, that's right. I should build a small house somewhere and plant a tree there. Then, I'll marry someone and have a child." The man thought about his life of selling Black Bull brand sauce, which he had been for 20 years. It's true that he sold a lot of Black Bull brand sauce. But what does that really mean? People might remember Black Bull brand sauce, but they wouldn't remember the man who sold it. I am happy because of that. I have been so busy walking around this world, but I couldn't leave any kind of mark anywhere. Yes, let's leave a mark in this world for me. To do that, I will build a house, plant a tree, and have a child. Determined, the man lifted heavy trunk once again and slowly started walking towards the direction of the town. The man who arrived in the town went straight to the pastor's place as usual, without doing any business. "Pastor, I have made up my mind as God has instructed me. I want to build a house, plant a tree, and have a child." "I understand. It's a very admirable thing. But why do you want to do it in this town? Why not do it in your own town?" "My own town." "Yes, that's right. Go back to your town and build a house, plant a tree, and have a child there." "But I don't have a town. I am a trambling salesman for Black Bull brand sauce. I just go from to town." "I see. That's unfortunate. In that case, you can borrow a house, a tree, and a child from the people in this town, but you can't possess them." "Even if I pay?" "Yes, even if you pay. People in this town will consider that they are lending them to you, even if you think they are yours. Go to another town." The man left that town as well. And he went to the next town, but the same thing happened. The man traveled from one town to another, just like he used to sell Black Bull brand sauce before, now trying to acquire land, lumber, and saplings. It was the same everywhere. Everyone promised to sell the land, lumber, and sapling but didn't promise that they would become the man's possessions. "Surely God won't believe you either," people said with pity. A year later, on a dusky evening, a young man with a big black trunk, a sturdy black umbrella, and a black felt hat arrived at a small station in the middle of a vast desert. The young man, who had been hired by the company after the old salesman who sold Black Bull brand sauce disappeared, was carrying samples of the sauce in his black trunk. He asked the station master, who was peering out of a small hut in front of the station, for directions to the town and then started walking cheerfully through the desert, whistling. After walking about halfway to the town, the young man spotted someone collapsed near a big hole. He probably died from exhaustion while digging the hole, as he held a small shovel in his hand. The black trunk, the sturdy umbrella, and the felt hat were neatly placed nearby. When the young man opened the trunk, he found 3 old and dirty bottles of black bull sauces inside. So, this must be the previous who went missing. But what was he doing here? Digging a hole. That's right, the man was trying to dig a well there, but the young man couldn't possibly understand such a thing. The man believed that he could dig a well, bring out water, pour it on the land around, grow crops, build a house one day, plant a tree, get married, have a son, and eventually create a new town for that man. But nobody would know such a thing. The young man carefully buried the man in the hole he had dug. He covered him with a trunk, a raincoat, and a felt hat. It's sad that he died in a place like this. But according to my boss, this person seemed to be really skilled at selling Black Bull brand sauce. On top of the mound-shaped grave, he placed a bottle of Black Bull brand sauce that he had with him. The young man, full of energy once again, walked towards the town while whistling. The black trunk, the sturdy umbrella, and the felt hat were neatly placed nearby. When the young man opened the trunk, he found 3 old and dirty bottles of Black Bull sauces inside.